viewed as good learners, but I think the last one, I disagree with that one. Those who could work individually without the teacher's help. So, it's a point. Okay, the different approaches for these Hong Kong teachers. The other thing, ESL teachers help about language teaching, and they had 3 different approaches. So the first one is skills-based approach. This is actually focusing on the 4 skills in learning a language, which are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. The second one, rule-based approach, which emphasizes on the importance of grammatical rules and a conscious understanding of the language system. And the third one is function-based approach. This is where the interactive and the communicative learning or cooperative learning and the ability to function in real situations comes in. Okay, that's all for teachers with learning and teaching. We're going to proceed with Shafinas.
Okay, I'm going to talk about the program and the curriculum. Okay, basically, it's about the program and the curriculum. It reflects based on the ways of thinking of particular institutions and the teacher itself. And this is some of the things that have been implemented by Australian Migrant Education Program in their curriculum, which is decentralized curriculum planning and needs-based curriculum, a range of teaching methodologies, center-based, classroom, autonomous learning, authentic materials, and multiculturalism. Okay, this is some of the teachers' belief about the programs they work in. We used to be very grammar-based in my school, but we went heavily communicate about 5 years ago. We are totally committed to implementing process-based approach in all our writing classes. Our program director believes in learner autonomy and learner choice. Students work out their own programs in consultation with teachers. This is basically some of the examples that stated by the teachers about the programs that they are working. Okay, teachers' views on lesson planning, they use objective and assessments may lead to different classroom practice. Okay, as we know that we have a lot of strategies and methods in teaching. So, for example here, some teachers state that they make use of the textbooks. Basically, they make use fully textbooks in their teaching. They make use all the activities, and also the textbooks will be their instructional decisions. It means that students just learn based on the textbook, but some teachers refuse to teach using textbooks, and they using the authentic materials, or they provide the materials itself. It means that they design the new materials by themselves. Okay, this is some of the teachers' problems with their programs. Teachers tend to work in isolation from each other. They do not work in groups, and teachers don't have much understanding about philosophy. Some other teachers are not very, not have much understanding about the way they teach, and also the students learn, how the students learn. There is no proper way of placing students in the most appropriate classes. There are too few teachers' meetings. The assessment instrument we are required to use do not match the communicative approach we are trying to implement. Okay. Basically, in this chapter, we just talk about the teaching methods and also some of the problems that may occur in the programs and in the curriculums. Means that this is the belief that they talk about their own curriculums and programs. It is about language teaching as a profession. Okay, here it stated that the individual teacher's sense of professionalism about their work depends on their own working conditions, their personal goals and attitudes, and the career prospect available to language teachers in the community. From here, we can say that the teachers can be seen as a professional. If she or he have a very good attitudes and have the goals and the way they teach the students in efficient way. In the survey by Richards et al., English language teacher reported their belief that language teaching is a profession. Okay, from here, some researchers, based on the findings from some researchers, Andrew sees himself as a conservator of traditions, but he also sees himself as a professional and has a well-articulated view that teaching should be as a profession. He stated that the English language teaching is a profession, but in other way he said that it's not a profession as it is lack of recognition and also from the people. Means that the teaching is a profession for himself, but some other people may not recognize it as a profession. Others teachers believe about teaching as a profession. Other teachers do not think of teaching as a profession at all. The image of teaching is rather more like a skill trait than a learn. Some other teachers may think that teaching is just you deliver knowledge and also learn students, but it is not a profession. It does not give you job satisfaction, or it is not something that you want to spend your whole life. But it says the key to professional in teaching and centering on giving teachers the means to better understanding their own classroom. But it says that in order for you to be professionals, you have to know and have better understanding about your own classroom practices and the teaching methods that you use in your classroom. Okay, there's some more. There's one more. Lewis argues that greater attention to accountability is needed to support the teacher's claim to professionals. He stated that in order for the teachers to be seen as a professional, he or she should be provide their own evidence based on the students' performance, achievement, and also the objective of the curriculum. It means that in order for you to be seen as a professional, you have to show the students' performance to other people, so it can be believed as professional.
Is the accountability of the teachers is actually looking at the quality of the students that they produce?
Yes. Okay, that's all from me.
Right, thank you very much. Okay, before you step aside, is there any question from the members of the floor? Which part you found most interesting to learn from the presentation?
The personality factor, because reflecting back during my practical days as a teacher, I think I struggle. Sometimes our personal personality contradicts with our teacher personality.
Correct, yes.
Because sometimes, personally I'm not very effective, but as a teacher, you have to be effective.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the conflict I have within myself as a teacher.
So the conflict is still within you?
I know that I have to pretend sometimes,
Yeah. That is why
Because there's no way out.
That's why sometimes some of us feel that we need to be actors or actress when we become a teacher, because we are not our true self.
Yeah.
You have to be a different person in the sense of the traits, because your belief, for example, you believe that in order to give the best to your students, and the fact that you know more about the students being communicative, so you need to be communicative yourself. You need to be quite interactive in class, when as a person, your personality could be quite a reserved person. So, but the moment you are standing in front of your students, because you know this is the belief. So you see, I like this what you mentioned. Sometimes your personality is a different thing versus to what you know best for your students. So
And sometimes the students actually took that personality out of class. When they interact with you, when they meet you outside, they thought that you're very effective. They just want to help you all the time. Oh my
But actually you're not. Okay, so that is one from Kiss. Anyone else want to share? Or maybe things are gelling, like oh yeah, this is so happening to you also. Probably your sources of beliefs.
I just want to share something. I've been in a freelance tutor for quite some time, and the beliefs is actually it changed from when I first started to teach and until now. It seems like there are other teachers who set back the right belief I believe, because I teach my students, and when they do not score, I felt like there's something wrong with me, and I got stressed out about that. I experimented with the student, like, this method does not work, this method does not work, what else should I do? The kid still does not progress. And then I told the teacher that I interviewed, and she actually said that, look here, you have to be relaxed. These kids come, they show effort. The thing is, if you put everything that you can, but in the end, if Allah says it's a no, then it's a no. But the thing is, it doesn't make you stop from giving your effort. So listening to that again, we know, but sometimes, as I say, the belief changes as you be more in that situation for longer. You try to, I have to make them succeed. I have to make them get A. It's like, and then
Do you still believe that you need to make the students succeed and get A?
Not necessarily A, but I try my best to make them understand. But the problem with the kids is my session is only like 2 hours in 1 week, and the rest of the week they have to do their own work, meaning that they have to do their own extensive reading or lesson or study. But then they only take that 2 hours and then that's it, finished. They have to do their own effort after that. That is what I kept on saying to my students. You have to do it even though I'm not there. Because if not, they will keep on forgetting, and that what stresses me out. So sometimes I have to tell the parents, please look at your daughter and your son. They need to do. You have to look at them.
So you're still in the stage of experimenting what works best for your students. So don't worry, the fact that you're talking about it like what you are, like what you did just now, it shows that you are thinking seriously about your professionalism, you as an English language teacher to your students. Because at the end of the day, like what Fashu, right? No. Sorry. Which one? The one in green. Shafinas. Fashu's that one, sorry. Okay, it's because the glasses makes me think. Okay, so like what you said just now, there are many reasons why we think the way we think, because it is actually the beliefs, and the fact that professionalism is also dependent on, is also referred to you being accountable or not accountable, and the fact that you're worried about them not succeeding or you're not making the students scoring A, that is an example of you already thinking about your accountability as a teacher, as the teacher to the students. Okay, so far so good. We discussed about sources of teachers' beliefs. There are easily how many sources of teachers' beliefs? Six of them, and one of them is with regard to what you think learning is about, what you think teaching is about, teacher, a profession, what you think language is about, and also the institution. And there are also factors to your beliefs. There are reasons why you have those beliefs, and one of them is actually personality, or it could be vice versa. It could also be the institutional culture. For example, if you are in a boarding school, and then of course the accountability is at stake. You need to really produce. Versus if you are in a sekolah menengah harian, so the accountability is seen differently. So hence that also shape your beliefs. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. The first group. So shall we move on to the second group? Focusing on the learner. So you have this uploaded